Good morning. I am 5 minutes earlier today. As usual, if you're watching in recording, you're welcome to fast forward about 5 minutes or stay with us through our hellos. I'm just gonna quickly check the sound. Good morning. I am 5 minutes. Okay, the sound seems to be okay. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Joey, and happy birthday to you. Good morning, Gina. All right, it is time for us to start. Yesterday, we talked about shame and how we can heal ourselves from it little by little. Today, I want to dig a little bit deeper into a particular aspect of shame that people experience, which is being ashamed of our suffering. Sharon Salzberg writes, I worry about friends and students who seem to take on responsibility for absolutely everything, as though their thoughts could control the universe. I've known people who even feel ashamed that they have cancer or an autoimmune disease because they believe they brought it upon themselves by not living a sufficiently pure life. While I think we're right to acknowledge the power of our minds to affect our bodies, it's a complete illusion to imagine that we have total control. To imagine the way we think is the singular causative agent of all we go through is actually to practice cruelty to ourselves. Also, a lot of people carry shame about the suffering they go through in their lives. For example, many people who grow up with abusive or alcoholic parents think that their parents' behavior is somehow their fault. If only they could be better children in some way, their parents would have behaved differently, would have loved them more. A lot of us are also ashamed of our privilege and or our suffering we experience in the context of this privilege. For example, we may be suffering while going through a challenging situation, and at the same time, we try to negate the suffering by saying to ourselves, well, I shouldn't feel this way. I have a really easy life compared to so and so, or what I'm going through is nothing compared to what people experience in war zones all over the globe right now. And of course, it is useful to put things in perspective, but denying ourselves the right to feel whatever we feel is actually an act of self-aggression. And if we add shame to what is already massively challenging, whether it's a disease or our sufferings in life in general, then we can become cut off and isolated when we most need to feel connected, when we most need to deepen our love for ourselves, just the way we are. So today, let's try to explore shame through the practice of RAIN. I'll remind you that this acronym stands for Recognize, Allow, Investigate, Nurture. Recognize what's happening, allow life to be exactly as it is in the moment, investigate with kind and curious attention, and nurture with loving presence. So take a comfortable position, and as always, take a few moments to settle. Settle into your body, your heart, your mind. Settle into this moment, right here, right now. Allow your breath to be just the way it is, nothing to perfect here. Simply notice how your breath flows through your body and how your body responds to your breath. Allow some space in your breath, spaciousness, so that all the experiences of the present moment, physical sensations, thoughts, emotions, can flow through you as energy that they are, without struggle. Now bring to mind a painful conversation, situation, or experience that elicits a feeling of shame in you. Take some moments to enter this experience fully, maybe visualizing the scene or situation, remembering the words spoken, sensing the most distressing, embarrassing, shameful moments, contacting the charged essence of the story is the starting place for exploring the healing presence of the rain practice. And we'll start with the R of the rain. Recognize what is happening. So as you reflect on this situation or interaction, ask yourself, what is happening inside me right now? Pay particular attention to your solar plexus where shame lives most often, but also your heart area and actually the whole body because everything is so personal. So notice where you feel it the most. And notice if there is any desire to avoid what you're feeling, to shrink, to hide away from it, to run. And let's move to the A of the rain, allowing life to be just as it is. So see if you can send a message to your heart to simply let be this entire experience. See if you can find in yourself the willingness to pause and accept that in this moment, what is simply is. You can even experiment with mentally whispering words like, yes, let be, I consent. With each inhale, envision opening up to all of the discomfort and pain associated with this experience. With each exhale, release any pressure you may feel to react to the suffering in any particular way. So let your reactions be what they naturally are, even if you don't like them. You might find yourself saying yes to a huge inner no, to a body and mind painfully contracted in resistance. You might be saying yes to the part of you that shouts, I hate this. I don't want to do this. Don't worry, that's a natural part of the process. At this point in rain, you are simply noticing what is true for you and intending not to judge, not to control anything, push away anything that you find. And with this attitude, let's move into the eye of the rain, investigating with a gentle, kind, curious attention. So bring this kind attention to your experience. Maybe you can ask yourself, what is the worst part of this? What is the most difficult, painful thing that I am believing? in relation to this painful situation, painful interaction, shameful feelings. When I assume the facial expression and body posture that best reflect what I'm feeling right now, what do I notice? Are these feelings familiar? Is it perhaps something I've experienced earlier in my life? If the most vulnerable, hurting part of me could communicate right now, what would it express? Through words, feelings, images? How does this part want me to be with it? What does this vulnerable part of me need the most right now? And instead of logically thinking about all of this, keep bringing your attention to your body, directly contacting the felt sense and sensations of your most vulnerable place. Once you're fully present, listen for what this place, this vulnerable place, truly needs to begin healing. And as you touch this, you can move into the N of the rain, nurturing with loving presence. So as you sense what is needed for you right now, what is your natural response? Calling on the most wise and compassionate part of your being, you might want to offer yourself a loving message, or send a tender embrace inward, or even wrap your hands around you, your arms around you, in a real physical hug. You might visualize a young part of you surrounded in soft, luminous light, receiving the healing. You might imagine someone you trust, holding you with love. Feel free to experiment with all the ways that you can befriend your inner life, whether it's through words or touch, images or energy. Discover what best allows you to feel nurtured, what best allows the part of you that is most vulnerable to feel loved, seen, safe. Maybe even imagine then that there is an actual rain falling down on you, cleansing, clearing you of everything that you don't need right now. And now place your hands on your heart, thanking yourself for this work that you've just done. And repeat after me, silently or out loud, the words of loving kindness mantra. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I feel safe, protected, at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. And now gently let go of your practice. As always, notice what's going on for you right now, physically, emotionally, mentally. How are you, really? And as you go through your day today, notice what situations, thoughts, experiences elicit the feeling of shame in you. Notice what your immediate reaction is. Most commonly, we want to kind of disappear, run away from shame. But of course, you may experience something else. What is it? And see if you can do a quick rain practice on the spot, recognizing what's happening in your body, in your thoughts and your heart, accepting things as they truly are without avoiding, even if you don't like it, investigating with kind and curious attention, and then nurturing the most vulnerable part of you with loving presence. Enjoy. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a beautiful day. I will see you tomorrow.